Pisces, you are represented by the Nine of Wands and the Four of Cups. So you may be struggling with some dissatisfaction, or perhaps you're determined to turn your back on an offer or to make an offer, but you are you're trying to protect yourself. You're on guard, and it may be due to some kind of prior conflict. It may be that in recent period you've had some setbacks, some knockdowns, some losses, some hard knocks, but you are still surviving. You're still recovering from a situation, and you may be trying to protect your reputation, your assets, and you're very determined to cross the finish line. Although at this point you may be questioning what kind of strength you have left to move forward, possibly in connection to a partner, but you are closer to resolution than ever before. And it's your determination, that pulling on that last bit of strength to cross the finish line, that's going to be important. This is also a period, though, where you have gained some understanding, some wisdom, some knowledge. You've got some experience under your belt now. And the things that may have gotten under your skin or bothered you emotionally, you're not letting that get to you the same way. And you're also doing this assessment of how far you've come, how much further you have to go, and you're recognizing your own role in the situation. You're coming to understand your contribution to this possible impasse that you're experiencing, why you may be stuck, and what kind of role you played in it. So again, you are struggling with some dissatisfaction. It could be, somebody's being ignored. Maybe you're determined to ignore somebody. Maybe they're unhappy about that, or vice versa. There's something being offered and you are questioning whether it's valid or good for you. You're looking at some of the recent choices and behavior that has taken place, and maybe you're struggling with some of those decisions, wondering if they were the correct choice or path, or perhaps someone you're involved with is doing that. And so you may have withdrawn, you may have socially isolated yourself in order to review a situation, or somebody may have put something on the table in good faith, and you looked at it and said, yes, but in the long run, this may not work out for me, so I'm going to take a pass on it. It could be that you're, so focused and intent on dealing with an issue or solving some kind of problem that you're not focused on any offers. People may extend themselves to you. They may try to be social. They may offer their love or whatever else, but you are unable to respond to that until you feel comfortable that you've taken care of something that is probably bothering you. Now, if you are in a good place, you are receiving a lot of offers, emotional, financial. There are opportunities if you're paying attention. You could very well miss an opportunity. Your intuition is prompting you to pay attention to something. And so you taking into account whatever this truth is or this realization plays a part in the outcome. So you may be offered something. There's things available to you. You can accept them. If not, move on. But for others of you, again, you're dissatisfied about some of the choices that you've made or what's on offer to you. And it may have to do with empowering yourself. You may be struggling to empower yourself. It could be that you have a secret admirer and that maybe they're reluctant to come forward. Maybe that's the struggle, or there's somebody that holds the key to your heart and they're not aware of it. So you are struggling to manifest perhaps a plan or a dream, or take charge of a situation, be a leader, or harness your personal power. So either you are dissatisfied with someone, and struggling to gain power over that, or vice versa. Now, the romance is characterized by the Ten of Swords and the World. So It may be that something ended. It was the natural conclusion, or it ended in such a way where it was the best possible outcome. You may be assessing some kind of ending or a betrayal, or where you have felt victimized. You may feel pinned to a situation and feel like you're bottoming out, but it could just be an attitude. It could be a state of mind where you take on a victim mentality, or you feel like something is hopeless or useless, and maybe you burn bridges or close the door on an opportunity because something didn't work out your way. It could be that you're actually dealing with some form of illness, and that has had an effect on your relationship. But the World card says that something is coming full cycle. And, you may be very aware of your environment, and you may have to be more tolerant of someone who has a very different viewpoint from you. Maybe you're dealing with a partner who is long distance, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who is very culturally, socially, racially, religiously, financially different, and you're having to be tolerant of those differences. You're having to compromise. So it could be that you want a second chance at something. You want to create a fresh start, a clean slate. And maybe you need to have more compassion, or your partner does, in order to get to that place. This is about forgiving the other person, forgiving yourself, and perhaps in that process bringing an end to a situation that may need to end. It could be that you are rethinking some things, again, doing this assessment, and it's the end of one phase and the beginning of another. So perhaps you're going to do something like travel, or start a new relationship, or a new job, or just change your attitude about something. But some of you are pinned. You're stuck because there's a resistance to change, or, making some alterations that would improve a situation for you. And it may tie to, changes, some kind of discord created through change. Maybe there's some arguments or disagreements, or maybe your relationship has a competitive edge to it where you have to feel as if you're winning at all costs, or could just simply be there's some difficulty in communicating. So there's been some kind of transformation, and maybe somebody's upset about that. There's been an ending, or somebody has had to face perhaps a truth that they didn't want to deal with, or the realization that, you're bottoming out. You're suffering because you're waiting in vain. But again, the Nine of Wands spoke of being very near to that finish line. So it could mean that even though you feel like there's an ending, you may be on the very verge of success. It could be right around the corner. It's simply the need for you to change your mindset and to focus on the responsibilities and the obligations that are in front of you. This is dusting yourself off and perhaps giving it another go, or, having compassion if it didn't work out and releasing it. Now, why is this occurring?